Hi everyone, welcome back to The Joyful Witch. Today I'm reviewing the Everyday Witch Tarot by Deborah Blake, whose art is done by Elisabeth Alba. So when I'm asked about a deck that I recommend for beginners for tarot, this is always what I recommend. Not only is it just lovely with the witchy artwork, it's a great deck to complement the traditional tarot meanings in both the imagery and in the guidebook, but it's not overcomplicated. There's no reverse readings, like reverse meanings in it. And it's just fun. It is fun. The energy is quirky and I just love working with it. So this is the one I thought I would recommend for those who are interested in a beginning tarot. Now, I bought this from the Crystal Arcana store in Sydney. I bought it on their online store and I'll link their details in the description for you. You can see it's a solid box. It's a magnetic side. It's got the guidebook, which we'll have a look at in a minute. Okay. With a ribbon. Okay. Let's put the box over here. And as you can see, it's got this gorgeous broom hat and black cat. Sorry for the glare, I will be conscious of that. So before we get into the deck itself, I'll have a look at the guidebook. Now, these guidebooks by this publisher are always in full color, okay? So, of course, I'm not going to be able to turn to a page that's full color. You can see it actually has the full color image when you go to the guidebook, okay? And they've got these little great, like, quotes followed by some information on the card. But the full color image really allows you to connect with the card. Because it's actually, the image is bigger than the card itself. It's actually slightly larger than the card. Just giving you a quick flick through. We'll go through the cards in a second. The back, it's got some spreads. Okay. So it's got the 1 card, the 3 card, and the Celtic cross. Okay, some meanings in that if you're interested in doing spreads with the deck. And she's got some information about how to do readings at the beginning. Okay, so I'm just going to put that aside. Let's have a look at the deck. Now, I've put these back in order. This is my personal deck. I put them back in order for you guys so you would see them as they arrive. Now, these are, I'm going to zoom it in for you. There we go. These are in their order that Deborah has laid them out. Okay, so they have the swords first in the minor arcana, so that's the order I've put them in. So whenever I return decks to their original form, because these are all my personal decks that I'm showing you guys, I haven't purchased them for this, I've actually already owned them. I put them all back into order so that you can see them. Okay, so let's start. We've got the full. The imagery is really, really beautiful. Just move that up so you can see it in the background. So the Magician and the Black Cat, High Priestess, the Empress. There's always familiars. Sometimes we have dogs. I love this. It's got runes, like the Emperor is working with runes, and there's a cat on his lap. Very rarely for a card not to have a familiar in it. The Hierophant. The Lovers. So these are obviously glossy, which is where I have to be really conscious of the light for you guys so that it doesn't create glare. Chariot. Look at the cat. Little scarf on. So sweet. The Strength card. The Hermit, beautiful. I love this card. And the Owl, and the Tree. The Wheel of Fortune, playing with dice. I love it. Justice, black and white cat. I love it. You can see it's very witchy. The imagery is very much designed to connect with witch energy, with the practices, even the stripy stockings. Hanged Man, and this branch is the broom. Love it. Death. I actually really love this Death card. The idea of the sword slicing the rope and then new beginnings will start. It's a cat. So sweet. Temperance. The devil. The tower. Poor kitty. Oh no. The star. I love how she's channeling it through her hands. So a lot of them have wands. A lot of the witches have wands, but she's channeling it through her hands. I love that. The moon. The cat thinks he's a panther. Love it. The sun. And you've got this like maiden, mother, crone energy. Beautiful. Judgment. I love this card. It's like you're following the path where the music leads you. It's about rebirth, and I love that it's causing butterflies to be conjured and the kitten is playing in the world. Okay, so that was the majors. Now we're into, as I said before, it starts with aces. It starts with swords. So this deck has gone for the traditional suits names. So you've got the Ace of Swords. And often embodied by daggers. Okay, so the swords are often shown as daggers. And she is blindfolded, like in the traditional tarot. And I love the raven. She's got a raven familiar. The 3. So the imagery of the heart with the 3 swords. 4 of Swords. Five of Swords. Six of Swords. I like the winds of change because obviously moving away from old things, winds of change are coming. The 7, so the card often associated with deception or theft. The 8. Nine. I love that the kitten is trying to console. It's beautiful. Has a very Cinderella feel to me, like the scene at the beginning of Cinderella where they wake her up, like from a night's sleep. And obviously this card is associated with depression or sleepless nights, and you can get the idea that she's been up all night reading or pondering over things, and there's a lot of sadness in her face. But there's just something really, like this particular depiction with the light coming through the window, it's like it follows on towards the 10, and you can see that the 10, like, which is interesting because they've gone for, like, it's hard to work out if this is a sunrise or a sunset with the 10. Usually it's a sunrise. You get this idea that there's light at the horizon, whereas you can't really tell if this is a rise or a set, sunrise or sunset with this particular card. But the cat, like, on edge, angry at the attack. Page of Swords. The Knight. All the knights are riding broomsticks because it's the idea of the movement. I love the birds. Look at all of the birds. The Queen. There's something really, really special about this card, like this ice throne she's on, because the Queen of Swords is often depicted as being like an icy figure, but she's really not. It's this idea that, like, you don't, when we're using knowledge or claircognizance, for example, that there's no emotion attached to that. It's just truth. And even the feather, you know, this idea of the mutt imagery with the feather, this idea of justice as well, linked to the Justice card, because obviously with the swords as well. And then the King. And then we have cups, so that was swords. Now we're on to cups. Love this. I love that she's got the same, like, halo of, like, light that's coming out of the cauldron. And there's, like, growth happening. The kitten is drinking from the water from where she's conjured. This cup is giving new life from where it's fallen. It's just magic. And the sharing of fish. 2 of Cups. Love it. And the 3 of Cups. Celebration. And the kittens are playing with butterflies, and then even the fish are celebrating. 4 of Cups. 5. I love this particular depiction of the 5 because she's so focused on what's tipped out, but there's this huge party and celebration, lobster, like abundance going on here. And, you know, she's just so focused on what she's lost that she's not even seeing all of this magic that's happening beside her. And the kitten is eyeing off the lobster. I love it. 6 of Cups. I love this card for like nostalgia, connection to the inner child, gift giving. It's just all of this wisdom that this teenage witch has imparted he's sharing with the child witch. And even the kitten, like his cat looks so much older than the kitten, but it's just, there's abundance and wealth to share. Like it's just beautiful. 7 of Cups, often very common imagery for this, you know, multiple cups with multiple options. But I actually really love that each one of these is positive. It's like you've got great things in front of you. Great things. It's just your choice of which one you want to choose. Walking away, 8 of Cups, walking away from things that no longer serve us. And I love that it's still steaming, this cup. It's like, this might be a current situation. You know, these ones look like they have old things, you know, they're empty, but this still has something brewing in it. And she's still willing to walk away, even though it's a current situation. Really love that. The 9 of Cups, abundance, all wealth, all abundance, all porting to the heavens. And I just love that the kitten's interacting with the crab, whether he's protecting her from the crab or whatever. I just love it. Love this particular scene. And then the 10 of Cups. So the rainbow obviously represented in the pattern on the blanket, and this family just enjoying abundance together by a river. It's just beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, on to our court cards. The page, creative ventures. Like he's stripped off his cloak and his hat and his broom, and he's just painting. And he's turned his cup into his paint palette. I just love it. I love it. Knight of Cups, heart bubbles coming out. And obviously, you know, painting an homage to the Pisces energy. And the cat trying to catch them and hang on to the broom at the same time. The Queen. I love this depiction of the Queen of Cups. Like, not in her throne, tipping water back to feed the fish. Like, the fish are just delighted to be in her energy. And even the kitten is like catching the abundance. And she's pregnant. This idea of just this divine sacral energy coming through, the divine mother energy. Love it. And then the king, he's on an island. So it's this idea that like his emotions, like he can control them. They're not as overflowing as they are in the Queen's card, but he's still surrounded by emotion. He understands it, he connects with it, but he's able to maintain his own sense of strength and composure, and not let the emotions overrun him. And I love that the kitten's catching fish. Onto wands or fire. Because it's a creative based card, you've got this idea it's written, it's art, it's music, it's journeys, you know, so much creativity coming through, and she's just conjuring whatever she wants with that magic. 2 of Wands, lizard. The world is his to explore. It's just where he's going to choose to go. And I love how the cat has its own wand and it's trying to get to the lizard. So cute. 3 of Wands, lizard again. And you get this idea that, like, obviously dragons are often associated with fire. So you've got this idea that, like, these little tiny lizards are leading us towards some sort of dragon energy. Often depicted as a person standing on a shoreline watching ships come in. So obviously magic about to happen when we take the next leap. Celebration card, 4 of Wands. Balloons, a celebration together. And the cats are just enjoying all of the magic that's coming down. 5 of Wands, disagreements. Now, even the cats are arguing, our cauldron's bubbling over. What happens when we don't work together and we don't collaborate? We have arguments. 6 of Wands, recognition, congratulations, sharing the wealth, sharing the knowledge, being recognized for your achievements. 7 of Wands, defense. Very defensive stance. Obviously she's under attack, and even the cat is defensive, but standing her ground, like she's planted herself firmly in the spot she's in. 8 of Wands, fast movement. You know, like this witch can't control how quickly this energy is coming in. Even she's holding onto a cat. 9, again, standing your ground, but also a sense of like a battle has occurred and you have sort of survived it. You can see all the wands on the ground. So she's deflected a lot of the attacks, but she's wounded and she's tired. Sense of tiredness. 10 of Wands, heavy burdens, carrying heavy burdens up a very tall slope. And sometimes we have to put down some of those things, recognizing when we're taking on too much. Page of Wands. Lizard. Path is on its way. Which way will she choose? Which creative venture will she take? Dragon. Yep. There's our knight in pursuit of the dragon. Maybe not to attack it, maybe just to find out what's going on with it. And a dragon, obviously, with our queen. A lot of fire energy. And snuffed, the dragon is not in attack mode. It complements the energy. Hummingbird, this idea of joy. And a rose for the cat. Love it. And then the king. So many creative things at his fingertips. So much knowledge and wisdom. Okay, last suit, Pentacles. Okay. Very green, obviously, this one, whereas you've got a lot of red in the fire. All the wands, lots of green. Even her broom has a sense of like, and her cloak, very earthy. 2 of Pentacles. 3, collaboration, working together. And the cats have joined them. 4, keeping a firm grip on money, you know, learning when to spend it and when to keep it in a chest. 5, Pentacles, the lack mindset card. You know, they're out in the cold, but there is light here if they just looked in that direction. Even the cat is trying to point them in that direction. 6, sharing the wealth, obviously physical money, abundance in terms of food, knowledge, abundance in all its forms. 7, the seeds we have planted are coming into germination. So you can see that the grapes are turning from green to purple. She's in a transition period. The cat pulling on one of the pentacles. The 8, putting in all the hard work to make this potion, seeing things come about. She's an apothecary. So putting in all that hard work. And then 9, sit back and just enjoy the abundance. See it come in. It's ripe. The fruit is ripe. The wine is pleasant. She's just able to enjoy a good book, knowing she has everything that she needs. 10, this idea of like the same thing, financial and family stability and security and safety. Dog. Just happy family. Happy grandchildren, it looks like. They could even be their grandparents, or they're just older in their lifespan. Page. He's got a map on the ground, but he's like, I'm going to flip a coin and see where we're going to go. And he has the abundance there, but he's not focused on that. He's focused on seeing where destiny's going to take him. The Knight, using his abundance to guide his next venture. And he hasn't taken off yet, which I love that he's grounded. Like, he's not in the air like the other knights were. He's still grounded on the earth. The Queen, I love this card. Like, she not only is look how many cats she has, Then she's also got the wealth of these grapes that have fully ripened and the fruit from the 9. And you've got pomegranates and you've got this freaking huge chest of money. She's just secure, and her throne is a tree. It's of the earth. She has so many kittens and so much wealth around her. And bee. So sweet. And then the king. So the king, he can have his cake and eat it too, because he has everything he needs. And again, grounded. His throne is of the earth. The grapes and the wealth and the dog with the bone. Everything he needs. Okay, so these are quite a hefty deck. So with smaller decks, I will show you how I shuffle normally. I move them into 4 piles because I'm actually really conscious of not bending my decks. It's something personally, so I don't shuffle them using the flicking method at all. I'm just shuffling like this right now because given the nature of how many cards there are. In another video or in a smaller deck, I can show you my other method. But for now, this is just to give you guys a look at the guidebook. We'll have a look how it comes out. Okay, the moon card. All right. There we go. So you can see it says mystery, magic, and a hint of mayhem. The moon. Go ahead, howl at the moon. You know you want to. Sorry, I'm trying to get the glare off for you guys. There we go, that's better. A large full moon fills the night sky, and the silhouette of a witch wearing a black hat and riding a broom can be seen crossing in front of it. On the ground below, a black cat gazes into a pool of water at its reflection. A black panther gazes back, its mouth open so you can see its fangs. A path leads off into the distance away from the pool. The mood is mysterious, half wild and half tame, much like our own spirits and the moon itself. The moon has long been a symbol of the goddess, feminine power personified. It also represents change, both predictable or not, as its very shape seems to mutate in the sky above, moving from a tiny silver into a full, round orb and back again until it disappears from sight. The moon card may carry with it a suggestion that there are unseen forces at work, mysterious and impossible to foresee. It can also indicate someone who is torn between their two natures, tame or wild, practical or creative. Can you embrace them both, or must you choose? Only the moon knows, and she's not telling. So things to consider. The moon card often indicates a time of feeling of uncertainty. Have you been restless, torn between 2 paths? Perhaps now is the time to choose which aspect of yourself you will show its face to the world, that will show its face to the world. If you have been having nightmares, perhaps your subconscious is trying to send you a message. Make sure you are listening. The moon card may herald a time of flux and change, neither good nor bad. It simply warns you to look carefully at the reflection in the water. What hidden secrets will it reveal if you are daring enough to gaze directly at the moon's face? So you can see with the majors, they have a spot for notes too. So if you want to make notes, I've just never done that. But yeah, so guys, I really hope you like this deck. I absolutely adore it. I think it's a really great deck for beginners. I really think it takes the traditional meanings and gives them a bit of flair. And the imagery really helps. It's not only is it fun, but it really helps you to understand what the card represents in a way that is just depicted in just the cutest, witchiest way. So I hope you've really liked this video. If so, please subscribe to the channel, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Blessed be.